Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at Goofy's one-on-one mid up against an Alchemist to see if he could have done anything differently, where he can improve, and just some basic general tips for playing this DP mid. Because as you will end up seeing in the final picture of the game, they got dumpstered real quick, real slick. Now once this loads up, I will be able to start analyzing just some general mistakes. As a signature DP player myself, I'm sure I can find something, because the mid matchup he goes up against is a one-on-one Alch. It's Alch against DP. Now, in this situation, in general, it should be a DP favored matchup, in my opinion, without a doubt. Because for Alchemist is very weak until he hits that level 6 point, and then he can just kind of like, whenever he comes back in the lane, he can just regen a lot with the Chemical Rage. He's not going to be grabbing a point stun early unless he has some really good like setup and lockdown on his team that can like bring some value for that to actually make it worthwhile. But Alch really just wants to focus on hitting that level 6 and hitting that jungle as soon as possible, so we can just start ramping his farm, getting his items, and then just start deathballing in the game. Alright, looks like the game's going to be loading up in a second. So the big thing for Alch is just over here is that he just wants it to just go hit level 6. His lane should be okay at best up against a DP. That's what he's aiming for. He's just trying to get some stacks in the meantime, so he can recover in the jungle. Unless he's playing a very solid.
Hey, little buddy.
Yeah. Unless he's playing a very solid. Sorry, I'm just distracted. Unless he is playing a very solid Alchemist and he just gets away with a lot. Now, in terms of starting items, I'm not a fan of the triple Manta of Intelligence. Just because, like when you buy items like this, it makes you want to like upgrade them to get like the full value from them. But the entire problem is because DP's gonna have some major slot issues very quickly. Because she likes to have a bunch of mid game items, such as face boots, Yules, eggs, like these are a bunch of quick items that she can pick very rapidly in the mid game, which is going to really take away. Let's play. Okay, good spot out. I was wondering why you didn't see him before, but the tree barely blocked the vision. That was a very good play by the Witch Doctor. Very good escape. Now, as we look at level 1 items up again, the skills, Crypt Swarm is definitely the best one here, just because of the long-ass cooldown in Spirit Siphon. It's not value level 1 at all. It's actually a terrible level 1 skill. Because you use it, also it's on cooldown for a full minute. Not worth it. Crypt Swarm, definitely, it will let you secure farm. Let's see. Okay. I believe in game when I was hearing Goofy talk about this, his team was calling to go in for this, but they all kind of went at a bad time. There's an easy setup for the cask, which is going to lead to his death here, and a perfect play by Clinks here, walking to the side and getting advantage of his range to secure that kill. Excellent play by the Clinks. That's going to really slow him down. Now in terms of regen in this lane, 2 sets of tangos, I think it's a bit overkill, because Alchemist should not be like over harassing. I think 1 set of tangos is fine. Double branches I'm perfectly fine with. But as I was saying before, with the Mantle of Intelligence, I think he should only have like 2 tops, because you don't want to build that too many nulls, because that slows down your other items like phase boots, as I was saying earlier, Yules. Yules starts to hinder like your big ramp up items. That's gonna hinder your impact. In terms of Alch's items, these are pretty standard with the Quelling Blade, Gauntlet Strength. It's the max amount of gold for the max amount of last hit power that he wants with the survivability, because he has a very poor base armor at 2. In terms of matchup, they both have about even armor, except for DP has about 10 more damage on average over Alchemist. And considering DP is a range hero as well, that's a massive advantage on a mid hero. And we'll see how this plays out. In terms of the big thing, is to just make sure that you're just bullying out this Alchemist very early, whenever you can. You gotta think of Alchemist mid as kind of like a Shadow Fiend. He's pretty weak until he hits level 3. Because then Shadow Fiend hits level 2 raises, so he actually starts getting some decent damage. On Alchemist, he'll have level 2 Acid Spray, so we can actually like clear waves decently. as well as a significant armor reduction that will let him be able to just go zone out opponents with the increased radius as well. But like on DP, like, you gotta focus on trading in a situation. Like, sure, it sucks to be tanking creeps a little bit, but in the long run, though, with this 10 damage advantage, as well as Alku just wants to sit here and get his levels, it's just the best thing you could do. Like I was saying with how it relates to the Shadowfiend matchup, if you zone out Shadowfiend like as early as possible, it slows down his power spikes. Like, hitting at level 3 and at level 5, where he gets those more powerful raises and abilities. The big thing is just to try and like zone him out. Like, obviously, he's a bit more HP, and he does have a little bit more like HP regen as well. But like, in the grand scheme of things, this is insignificant. If you can make him spend more gold on like regen early, that's just gonna only help you, because it just delays. Sorry, I'm like dying over here. Hold on, let me actually get a drink of water. Fucking filthy. Ugh. All right, my apologies, sir. But if you just look at the amount of regen he has, if he has to spend more gold on regen, that means it's just going to delay his items for getting like that early game radiance, the boots that he so desperately wants. It's just going to really hinder his early game. And now, if you're playing very passive here, this is no good for me, and this is just letting me get a good amount of last hits. Like, you aren't even in like contest range, and the big thing in terms of mid matchups, it's very core of for just like even if you're not a mid player per se, and you don't play it often, the big thing for mid is just controlling the range creeps. If you can just focus on for just like denying their range creep and securing their range creep with any type of last hit, specifically this Crypt Swarm, that's just a massive advantage. It keeps you competitive in the lane, even if it's not a favorable matchup. It's just what do you have to try and focus on this mid matchup, because this gives the most amount of gold and XP in each wave. Keep it competitive. Now like, it's a problem with you standing this far back is because, like, unless you're like really like winding your right click attack up like really fucking early, like it's just never gonna make it in time to actually be competitive in this last inning situation. He's right there and ready to just right click right away. Again, look, 1.37, 1.47. So if you do attack like a tenth of a second slower, but you also have the fact from the travel time of your actual right click animation going out and hitting that creep. Like, he's right there and ready, because he's just that melee hero like that. But like, you just gotta stay competitive, and the big thing for the Crypt Swarm, it's not very value early. The big value is to go secure CS while also trying to harass your opponent, but mainly securing CS. That's what really matters. Multiple creeps preferably, but securing this range creep CS is huge. This matchup. See, good play there. See, look, that was in terms of what just happened right there. That was a really good secured CS on the range creep right there, because it keeps you competitive in lane. And now for the big thing is basically he's dropped a very aggressive acid spray, which is not so great for you, because it puts you -1 armor, which is gonna have you. Oh wait, thought you only had 2 armor. Oh, tower. Since you're under tower, you're at 1 armor right now. But if you were not, you'd be lower. But in this matchup right now, like this level 1 Asprey, it definitely sucks for sure, but it's insignificant in terms of like compared to the level like a 2 acid spray. The level 2 acid spray is gonna eat you alive. This level 1 it's annoying, but you have plenty of regen, so you should be fighting him still. You just gotta be careful with the creep aggro, because the creeps will do a lot of damage. But as we're seeing with that like travel distance time though, like it makes it very hard for you to just go like time it out unless you have like that real feel for it. Yep, it's big to be try and focus on denies, even if he has a better time last hitting with that coin blade.
I can't believe I'm seeing this with my own eyes.
Also, there's just different types of like timers for like hitting the creeps. In terms of range creep, I think it's below, if you're below 75 damage. And it's very early in the game, like at this time. If you right click the range creep 1 time, the tower should be able to hit it twice, and then you should be able to just barely secure a last hit on it, assuming there's no creeps hitting it. Just some tips like that. If you're checking his inventory, you should have known that you know, with the swapped out gauntlet that he just plays something. Assuming you ping something. It's fine to stand outside of the acid spray to not take the damage, but like yet again, it's just level 1 acid spray. But like the problem though here is like that's an okay Crypt Swarm because it got some damage out, but like this Alchemist is at about half health with like way less regen than you. Like you have to bully him out of lane, and now you're in the situation is you're just tanking up like creeps kind of badly. That's one thing you don't want to be doing. It was okay. Good. See, like it's just watching the timings and just getting your flow going. That was a little unfortunate there, but it was just a second too late. You know what happens. But this Alchemist, he's just in a commanding position as he's just not even scared of you. Like, he's just farming freely without any worry whatsoever of being harassed out of lane because he just noticed how passive you're playing. And he even went greedy. He even got 2 points in Greevil's Greed. That's fucking insane to me. Like he's not even playing Alchemist correctly. Look at this. He's a soul lane. He's not even getting the true value out of his acid spray. Look at this. He's playing greedy and he's punishing you on it because you're just not being aggressive. Just these type of things. This min max. Of the game that really will just make this game harder and harder. But as I was saying before, though, tower hit just kind of sets you up. It is hard to last under tower, but this Alchemist so far is having a pretty good time. Now, in terms of last hits, like you're still being just like reasonably competitive with him in terms of last hits, which is great and everything. But just like if you just look at what he's getting out of like the gold value, though. That's what really matters. Let me see it. I'm fucking blind. Net worth. Look at this. He's literally over he's literally over 500. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I cannot even read, but he is literally over 500 net worth above you over this 3 last hit difference. That's fucking gigantic. And now, for mind you, that it does extend a little bit higher just because of the bounty runs at the beginning, but still, with those level 1 bounty runs, it's 200 golding normally to everyone. He's gonna swipe bonus off it. Denying the invis, like in terms of this matchup here, it's not value at all for the Alchemist because he just has nothing that he can do with the invis. You know, like he's not gonna go to a different lane and gank. It's okay on you, but like by the time that you spend actually getting to that rune to just go deny it, like you literally just end up wasting enough time to lane out farm another free wave, and now he's 6 last hits ahead of you. Now obviously you can get 3 closer, but like it's just a separating gap that if you're letting like build when this Alchemist is supposed to be at like a low point. He's forcing you to farm underneath tower right now. Next point in Crypt Swarm I think is fine. Okay, because you finally hit level 4. With this level 2 late, like you have to start like using this charge. I know it's on cooldown, but like you're just like too scared of this acid spray, but. And he's just getting this advantage. Also, another really big thing here that I just noticed is that for like when you see a creep this low, like especially once like a range creep, as I was saying before, in the basic like mid fundamentals, you know, like the basic thing is to just go deny your range creep and to secure theirs. When you send this Crypt Swarm or this wave, if it puts it low, you like you have to be able to make sure that if your nuke on the wave will in fact kill this range creep and not put it in 1 health. Because as we'll see right here, when you drop your Crypt Swarm, see it's going to be, actually I don't know where the animation went, but as you go for this nuke on the wave though, you did not secure any last hits with that. Nor did it even harass this Alchemist. It's a complete waste of mana. Like sure it lowers the wave's health, but look, watch, are you going to be securing this? Look at this. Look, it lets you secure 1, but if you lost that range creep, that's adding to his Greevil's Greed. Like, it's just making it easy for him to farm. You should be able to secure this one too, but like it just wasn't necessary in that situation. Also, it could be okay to grab bottle mid, but I'm not a big fan of bottle because it forces you out of the lane. And unless you're getting some good runes, like the Invis rune's okay, but it relies you having points in Spirit Siphon. Or just something that can control in terms of your like Crypt Swarm, it was okay because it harassed the Alchemist a bit, but I believe it did not secure any last hits, and this range creep is back in deny range again. He's, okay, okay, he was slightly above, but like, the point is that we're just like making this lane like a lot easier for him. Look at this, and then Alex doing exactly what he wants. He just asset sprays the wave, and then he just hits the jungle. He's just prepping for that late game. You know, he's just trying to ramp up his farm so he can get his items faster. And you were just completely letting him do this because you're not properly laning against him, and you're just letting him get too much advantage. Like, as we just look at the last hits difference right now, it's 9 last hits. Like especially in a DP fair matchup, this is unacceptable, in my opinion, humblest opinion, of course. Now if you can't like save yourself of like here in terms of him like stacking it with the acid spray, that's a pretty high level move, if I do say so myself. You know, it's hard to contest that, except for like in this matchup right now, like you see how low he is. Look at this. He's really low, but like the entire question is first like, what can you do about it in this setup? It basically low on mana, right? You were like low on mana, and if you're not going to get bailed up by this region rune that just so happened to fall upon you, you would have no way to like contest this guy right now. Like even if you start like last time like you should have him, he's already prepped the regen. He's already ready for his comeback. Now if you'll get lucky and you'll take this regen, and you'll hopefully be able to turn this into a kill here, except for just like, and this guy definitely should have popped his salve, mind you, but it was some good harass on him, but still doesn't know anything. He's playing greedy, but like you still are like zoning like yourself out of like the wave, and you're just letting him have uncontested farm because you're too afraid to take in this little like tick damage from acid spray. It's not a good trade. And then for this mind you, as I was saying with the grabbing the triple mantles of intelligence, like in terms of building 3 nulls, that is awful for a DP. Because this matchup with Alchemist boots, he's at 354 move speed. You literally have no chase potential on him. Even with the Spirit Siphon, it's letting you steal speed, which is actually a pretty decent. It's like a 12% like slow on him equivalent. Except for just like that's not good for you because it just does not let you chase him. You know, and if you look at phase boots and what they do for you right now, like phase boots give you 6 armor that counteracts all of his acid spray armor reduction right now, and it puts you at your base of 4. That's a massive difference in the amount of damage you're taking. Plus, you're also giving out more damage. You have more chase with the actual phase itself. It's just a massive difference. It's the same with the Crypt Swarm though. Like you're setting up this wave to be either cleared by creeps or to be denied by him. Now, in terms of situation though, it just happened to work out as you kind of like almost kind of like baited it. Alright. Goofy, my guy. Popping the exorcism here does not make any sense whatsoever, because unless these spirits are just like beating this for like tier 1 tower, it's just wasting its cooldown. Look at this. This thing's up for, what's the uptime? 35 seconds uptime out of a 145 second cooldown. It's massive. That's a gargantuan difference. Now, for like, look at this. Look at this. It's just ticking down, and this tower's not taking any damage. Because you're scared of this tower right now because you're at a lower amount of health. Now, let's just go. And I'm not trying to go like kill you here with efficiency, except for just like if you really want to make use of this bottle though, if you pocket, if you backpack your null talismans, drop on the ground, whatever, and you use all the bottle charges, it'll basically put you back to full health. It's this weird efficiency with the difference in percentage numbers that somehow this is more efficient. I'm not, but like, it's just not as valuable a model because you have a massive, because you have a bigger mana pool to restore than if you drop these, and then you can get, and then once you add these in, it just percentage-wise, it works out. Trust me. But like, let's just go look at this exorcism though. You've done 0 damage to the enemy mid tower with this first exorcism. That is awful. The entire point of the early game exorcism is to be pressing on the mid tier 1 tower, or to be pushing fighting with your team in another lane to press their mid 1 tower. This is a building hit early. It's supposed to be able to go secure you a tower, but like in this situation though, it gets 0 damage to this tower. Like I mean, I guess the damage is out, but as we examined this earlier though, Alk doesn't really care about taking too much damage because he has chemical rage, which will basically get him back up to full health. And he has bonus regen from the Soul Ring's passive ticks, a full salve, and a tango. Like the damage is insignificant. Like you literally just wasted an entire 145 second cooldown ultimate ability on just clearing one single creep wave and doing about 300 damage to an alchemist. That's awful. And now, as I was alluding to before, in terms of alchemist, all Alk really cares about is just hitting level 6 and then beating the jungle down because the jungle is safe for him right now. And and I just understand that this game's not going so great for you guys because they have a 2K lead. Except for like if you leave a for Alchemist uncontested in the lane though, he'll just run over you in this mid game. He'll become an absolute pain. Especially looking at your lineup here, you guys have poor lockdown for him. Like the very best of you guys are basically betting on is that Doom will hit a decent level 6, and that he'll be able to like do a decent combo with the Infernal Blade, and you'll be able to chase him down as 5. Maybe a rock toss in there too, but that's that's using a lot of ultimate abilities just to go deal with one single hero. See, now for this in some contested farm though, you're getting a lot more of the wave. See, and then here's how I'll come back to farm the wave. He doesn't care about being harassed because he has 60 regen almost level 1 on the chemical rage. Now for his damage is above 75. I think that's like the rough number because of the coin blade, because of the bonus 24. But and now in the situation though, you have for no way of for just contesting this man mid anymore. You basically can just hop back in a lane, acid spray it, and farm the entire wave, and you just could never kill him with what you have, especially with your low mana. You just cannot out harass him unless he's playing really ridiculous. And look at this. That was an entire mid wave for the Alchemist there, and you just couldn't do anything about it. Because the lane is already lost. It just basically small mistakes. This passive gameplay just keeps ending up. Look at this. And you're trying to fish a third null. A third null will not do anything for you. Sure, it adds another quote 3% spell amp, but like if we look at this right here, 300 damage to 330. It literally is gonna be insignificant if you guys are losing lane. And just sure that there just may have been mistakes in the other lanes in the draft in general. You may have not gotten any kind of mid rotations. It's just in terms of playing, if you're just good mid hero though, you should not be needing mid rotations if you are playing properly, and especially if the enemy is not sending anyone mid as well. Like this for Aug. Louis has about 50 last hits at 6 minutes. That's great for an Alchemist. He's doing exactly what he wants. He's getting everything that he wants out of his lane. Especially when it should have been favored towards the DP herself. Now, in terms of a more of a for winning DP lane as a DP kind of just gains an advantage and ends up taking this mid 1 tower down. In terms of a proper of item build for this matchup specifically, is to go maybe just 1 or 2 nil talisman, maybe a bottle. You probably want a raindrop here. The reason why the raindrop's value is that in terms of value it gives you value in 2 different ways. Oh, look at me being retarded. It gives you value in 2 different ways. The first wave is to just go survive nukes, which are just straight magical bursts at 5 different charges. It basically saves you having to just go buy more regen items. About there. I'm sure I'll be disgusted around here. Yeah, it's about the same spot. And then if we hop out of game again. Learn items, raindrop. Okay, it basically lets you just go save and find a bunch of salves to just go compensate all the nuke damage you would be taking. which is very valuable. But the other thing though too is it takes an instance of 50 magic damage in order to proc these things, and it also has a base 0.75 mana regen, which is also it's a pretty value on DP early. But in terms of this matchup though, Alk doesn't have any magic damage. He literally has no magic damage until he gets a Radiance. So like it's just a free 0.75 regen in lane until someone else bursts it against you. And looking at their team, that would be Witch Doctor. It would be Grimstroke. That sounds really weird. The Wraith Fire Blast and Wraith King. It's like, and it does help you more on. That's one of the value items you can get here. Phase Boots, absolutely. Phase Boots are necessary in this matchup because DP will need this armor. The bonus attack will help against Alk's lack armor because he doesn't want to buy an armor item right away. What he really wants to go get is like Soul Ring into Radiance after getting a Brown Boots, of course. And his Radiance will just like expedite his farm very, very fast, and it'll just let him get those bigger items that he really wants, and then he'll start moving on to armor items. Unless he tries picking up a early game armlet, but like the problem with the armlet is that it ends up slowing down his Radiance timing. But it could be very valuable if you want to be farming like Ancients to really get like the value out of it. This matchup, so as we said, Phase Boots, Bottle's okay. A null or 2 is fine. I think 1 null talisman is perfectly acceptable. 2 I think is a little overkill. 3 kill yourself at that point. Sorry, Goofy. I just can't. Another very value item here is, I really wish I could just get rid of this, is Yule's is very value in this situation just because of what it can give you, and I can't. Alright, I'll just look through here, but if we look at the items that we really want, Yule's is excellent on you, although the active is really shitty with the 175 mana, which is massive. The big thing about it is it gives you some okay control. It's just a defensive ability when necessary. The 5 mana regen is amazing on DP. The 20 movement speed is also great, especially in synergy with the Phase Boots that you'll want to pick up. And the 6 armor on the Phase Boots is massive. It lets you really just be able to man fight the Alk pretty well. And then the 10 int to give you more damage, bigger mana pool. Or big thing. Atos is okay, but the biggest thing for this matchup, assuming you would have a better time mid next time, is getting the Spirit Vessel. The Spirit Vessel is the bread and butter Alk counter in the early game and mid game. It's really to deal with them. Now I know from in terms of seeing this game that this Warlock is trying to pick one up. Like he's trying to pick one up. The entire problem with trying to grab a big item like a Spirit Vessel on a pause 5 like this is because you're seeing this cost 3k gold. 3k gold, that's a lot of gold for a pause 5. It was to buy wards, such as Obs, Sentries, Dust, Smokes, you know, like Tomes, like he's a lot of fucking like supporting items that he's keep like buying constantly to keep his team happy, and instead of having the bitches like, oh, there's 4 words in shop, you fucking worthless whore, buy them, you know, and shit like that. And so if that just like slowly for just keeps like adding up, if you for just like cost of the Spirit Vessel, because it just keeps coming like later and later, and then by the time I end up grabbing it, once this plus 5's been having a fucking great game and getting like kills and everything, like he'll grab the vessel too late, and he won't really be getting too much value out of it because then he'll somehow have to try and get charges for it by actually living through team fights. Like it's a pretty good item on supports, but like it's a very costly one. But in terms of you, like 3k gold on you, like that's pretty good. It's a very good item in this situation, like for dealing with the Alchemist, and this could be picked up reasonably fast on you. Now, this does make it a bit difficult because buying Yules and Spirit Vessels like a little overkill for some of the stats and the stuff it gives you, you know, with the mana regen, the 20 movement speed, but it's still it's a great out counter. It's necessary, but in this game though, like he kind of overruns you, and then you guys end up running into this big problem. But whoops, what happened? Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, this is slightly after the illusions were there, but like Alchemist, he's so sim right now. Even with the support rotation, He literally is for unkillable with this 60 regen. You guys do not have enough burst. Jubian's completely out of mana. You're completely out of mana. There's no kill opportunity here. It's just a bad dive. Now they're getting lucky that's forced some support rotations, but that's because they think they can get kills on you. Good read on the waves. Oh yeah, if we just look at what like the Yules could be good of against, dodging Wraith King Blast. Not really too great against Phantom. You could dodge the Inkswell burst. If you get soulbound, you can yeet yourself up. Not good against. Well, I guess you can dodge some damage on the Burning Armor. You buy yourself some time. Like it just buys you some time. Lets you dodge some stuns. If you're really skilled, you can dodge the Maledict, the Cask, some burst on the Death Ward, but. Solar Crest can be okay as well, but yet it falls into this like same kind of like triangle as the Yules and the Spear Vessel. It kind of gives all the same kind of thing, so it's not that great. Eggs definitely, but it's worth getting the Vessel and the Face Boots and Yules first though, just because of how valuable it is up against the Alk. Because the big thing about the Vessel is because it reduces like the HP regen. So this 57 regen, it's not nearly as strong. I think it's like 60% reduction or something. So this goes way down. This goes down to like under 20 regen, which is manageable early game. Well, it's just manageable in general. And although as I'm seeing like your team's like build how he grabs Spirit Lance, he doesn't max it and then he grabs like a Soul Ring. It doesn't make sense. Like even if you can like regen through it, you know like. Well, you guys were definitely outdrafted this game, but like still though, I do hope that you can at least like see some of your just like mistakes and just like it's just some like small things to like improve upon. And then if we could take a look at the 10-minute counter, because in terms of the big thing with the 10-minute counter is that the object to be aiming for as a farming core is to hit 100 last hits for 10 minutes is the ideal. So if we look at the last hit counter right now, 81, that's fantastic. And now to round leave for like ancient to divine bracket, it should be around like around the like divine to like mortal bracket. You should be aiming for like 75 like a minimum though, like. If 50 is still for just like average, it's average. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Except for like in comparison to like the person you went up against. So, like he almost has 30 more last hits than for you. If we translate this straight into net worth though, that's over 2.4k net worth. Now, for this, mind you, this is it's not even factoring in bounties yet because they just spawned. This is 2.4k net worth over you. I guess this is factoring 5-minute bounties, but like still though, like and then if we look at KDAs, Alk's died one time, you've died one time, except you did get the kill on the Alk. You know, he lost 404. Oh, remember that was his name. Like a 1 would have been good, but like if we just go look at the win percentage, it just off of like you not being able to like contain this Alchemist, like it's just way in his favor. XP's up on first team, like almost a 4k net worth, and then if we look at the power of the bounty runes.
Let's see what kind of trouble we can
A
get
little more.
ourselves into.
Looks like you guys split 2-2, and this net worth should grow even bigger. Look at that. Just about a 3k net worth, and where's our buddy Alk? Where is he? Where is he? He's sitting right here. Full Sacred Relic. He's slightly down on XP than you, except for like in this situation it just doesn't matter. I do like the sounds pickup though here. Like although that the Mech Spirit Summon is very good, it's too valuable a skill point to pass up. But I hope that you can like learn from this. At least some of my like mad efficiencies. Both playing CP, except for he's not tanky enough to really deal with this. Like Klink's min-maxed him. That play. Should be, I guess I played him, but he was already doomed. So Okay, I liked how he blocked the camps. Another big thing for stealing with Alchemist is just buying like your own sentries. In terms of like the mid thing, like a big thing that could be valuable against an Alchemist is just buying like a single sentry and just blocking the camp. Because if you can't just keep going back to it like wave after wave, like at the very least it makes him travel farther if he wants more farm, or makes him have to buy his own sentries to actually deward it. You know, just some more things. Yeah, this game's not looking good. All right.